Hello everyone and welcome to Dice Commando for our Luke Fenn AR deck tech video. So we have Elite Luke at 14. We have Elite Fenn Rau. He's pretty weak with 9, but he comes in at 13, which leaves enough points for AR. Right? Obviously we're going to be ARing Luke's fighter. So may as well throw that on the starting team because that's basically what it's going to do. So that comes in and leaves you with 1 resource. And then we're on the Outer Rim Outpost, which I like. It's just a very good generic battlefield. Gives you the resource, draws a card. I think we're going to be faster than most, but if we're not, it's not the end of the world. So just a couple reminders on these guys' power actions, or actually he doesn't have power action, but in this case, when he's piloting a vehicle, you can resolve that die at +1, which is really pretty strong. And then Fenn Rau, he has a nice little power action with play a red card from your hand, deal 1 indirect to an opponent for his power action. All right. So yeah, let's go right into the vehicles. We are running 2 copies of Luke's X-Wing. Why run 2 copies when we're running AR? Because DM is still a thing. Are playing 2 copies of the Crate Speeder because it is awesome. And then we are running 2 Merchant Freighters just for a little extra money. Plus we've got the whole eject thing going on in here. And do remember, both of these guys are pilots. Only one has piloting though, that is important. But they're still both pilot keywords, which matters for some of our events. All right, going into the upgrades. So I'm running 2 of the hand cannon because again, you're not too worried about the upgrade slots. It's a great investment for 2 points. And I am running 2 dorsal turrets because why not just go ahead and run it? Again, if you can play around, I mean, if you're up against villain yellow, you're probably not going to put the investment in unless you think you can get around it. But if you, I mean, even so, the turn it comes in, you get the double activation off of it, right? Because what you're doing is you are rolling it in when you play it, and then you can activate the vehicle. So not too bad. And you know what? It's also a red card, so it can come in, but there's no shortage of red cards. Come in, by the way, I mean with Fenn's power action. All right, so here's the big old chunky event suite. So lots of events here, right? We're pretty light here, pretty light here. But we get the blue and red package, which is pretty sweet. So we're playing 2 motives. Fenn Rau is a pilot trooper, so we can measure for measure, which does not suck because sometimes his dice just don't roll what you want. Focused Fire, love that card. I'm also running 2 Conflicteds. If you're going to conflict somebody, you want it to be Maul or Luke. That's pretty much what it boils down to. 2 copies of Field Medic. All right, now getting into our tech cards. Seize the Day, that's for our action cheats. Now do remember you have to control the battlefield for that. We then have 2 copies of Flanked by Wingmen. That's why I called to attention the fact that even though Fenn doesn't have piloting, he is a pilot, so you get 2 shields out of this when they're both alive. Now, one call I made here was to run Rebel Assault. Now it doesn't remove damage, but it can remove specials as long as you have guns showing. Okay, and then we are playing Eject. No surprise there. Now for the one-ofs, I'm running 1 Pacify, and I am running, let's see if I can put them over here, 1 Run to Safety, and 1 Pacify. Pacify has its own disadvantages as removal, since especially in this deck we're not giving our opponent shield. Then Run to Safety again is the one-off because the same thing, they're both troopers. You could potentially heal for 3, but you have to be playing the right deck and you have to get it at the right time to have both of them still alive to get out of it. So that is the deck itself. To be honest with you, there's not a lot of, this deck has pretty straight lines of play. There's not a lot of tech or tricks in it. You're just going to AR basically as soon as you can to get Luke's on play. And then it's roughly basically a 5-die start, right? 5-die start without the extra health. So, but it is pretty fast. So anyway, this deck is a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Fenn Rau usually is the last man standing, so you get a couple extra pings out of his indirect. But yeah, so let me know if you have fun playing this deck as well. It's pretty cheap, honestly, to put together. Aside from hand cannon, which is not integral to the deck, there are no rares in this deck. Probably the most expensive card in this deck, to be honest with you, is probably your Hidden Motive. Yeah, so anyway, let me know what else you're thinking, and if nothing else, go Commando.